What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Our mission here is simple: helping you build a high-performance AI workforce to automate your income and dominate the affiliate market. In today's video, we're diving deep into the exact blueprint you need to scale. Let's get right into it.
Welcome back to the Explainer. Today, we're doing something really practical. We're going to architect your very first AI growth system, and we're using a blueprint from automation guru Simon Cotton. We're going to show you exactly how to step off that content creation treadmill for good and finally put your business growth on autopilot. All right, let's just dive right in with a question that I bet hits a little too close to home for a lot of you. Are you feeling completely burned out by the content creation treadmill? You know that feeling, right? You're stuck in this endless cycle of making stuff, spending your time, your money, just to stay visible. It's a constant battle, and let's be real, it is absolutely exhausting. Yeah, that's what we're talking about today, the manual content treadmill. Think of it like a hamster wheel for modern marketing. You're just running and running faster and faster, but you're not actually going anywhere. Well, today, we're going to find the off-ramp. And this right here, this is the classic founder's dilemma. You know organic content is crucial. You know you need it. But every single hour you spend writing, well, that's an hour you're not spending on the core of your business: sales, product, strategy. And the alternative, hiring expert writers, we all know how expensive that gets. It becomes this massive wall that stops you from actually scaling. So, okay, how do you actually break free from this trap? Look, diving into automation can feel, well, super overwhelming, but Simon Cotton has boiled it down to this really brilliant, simple 3-level framework that honestly anyone can get started with. And this framework, it's basically a roadmap. Level 1, you're the explorer. This is where you're just dipping your toes in, maybe using a tool like ChatGPT to help out with your current workflow. Then you level up to the builder. Now you're starting to create a basic automated system. And finally, level 3, the supervisor. This is the goal, right? The system is running pretty much on its own, and you're just there to oversee and approve the final output. It's a perfect crawl, walk, run approach to getting this done. Now, this chart really shows you the night and day difference. Just look at that roll row. When you're doing things manually, you're the creator. You're stuck in the weeds doing all the repetitive work. But with an automated system, you become the supervisor. You get to step back, make the high-level strategic decisions while the system does all the heavy lifting. This is the key transition you need to make, moving from manual work to massive leverage. But here's a really, really important point. Even at that top level, at level 3, the goal is not to get rid of the human. As Simon says here, it's all about keeping a human in the loop. You're still the boss. You provide the strategy, you give that final thumbs up, you add that essential touch of quality. You got to think of AI as your most powerful employee, not as your replacement. Okay, so that's the framework. The theory is great, but now let's get practical. Let's look at how this stuff actually works in the real world. We're going to break down 3 super powerful growth systems you could literally start building today. So what are they? We're talking about automating your social media content, building a full-on SEO blogging machine, and even analyzing your competitors' paid ads. Let's kick things off with the one that, let's face it, most of us are already struggling with day-to-day: social media. And let's drill down even further into a really specific and often frustrating piece of content: the social media carousel. You know, those multi-slide posts? They perform great. They're super engaging, but man, trying to create a whole series of images that actually look like they belong together, it's a massive headache, especially when you're trying to get an AI to do it. So what's the secret sauce here? How do you get that consistency? Well, according to Simon, here's the trick. You don't ask the AI to create brand new images from scratch for every slide. No. Instead, you give it a really solid, high-quality template to start with, and then you just tell it to edit that original template for each new slide. It's a small shift in thinking, but it is the absolute key to getting that professional, consistent look and feel. And this human-in-the-loop approach is exactly what separates your high-value content from what Simon hilariously calls AI slop. And you know exactly what he's talking about, right? That low-effort, generic, obviously AI-generated junk that everyone hates. That stuff that just screams, a robot with no soul made this. By staying in control, you avoid that garbage completely. All right, on to system number 2. We're going to shift gears now from the short-term buzz of social media to something with real, lasting impact. We're talking about building an SEO machine that turns your website into the authority in your space. And look, this is not just about randomly churning out blog posts and hoping for the best. No, this is a highly sophisticated strategy. The system actually starts by auditing your site to see what you already rank for. Then it plans out entire topical clusters, these webs of interconnected articles that scream expert to Google. It generates all the long-form content, it adds the smart internal and external links, and then it automatically posts it for you. See the difference? You're not just a writer anymore. You are an architect of authority. Okay, so building these complex systems, architecting authority, it all sounds amazing and powerful. But let's be honest, the biggest roadblock for a lot of people isn't going to be the technology. It's that voice inside your head, wondering if you're actually the person who can pull this off. Yep, we're talking about imposter syndrome. That nagging little voice in the back of your mind that's always whispering, I'm not technical enough for this, or there's no way I could build something like that. And for so many of us, that feeling is this huge barrier that just stops us dead in our tracks before we even get started.
So how do you fight back against that feeling? Simon gives this incredibly powerful mindset shift. Listen to this. He says you don't have to be the #1 top automation expert on the planet. You just have to be better at this one thing than the person who's hiring you. That's it. That's the bar. If you know more than them and can help them solve their problem, then guess what? You're good enough.
And that's the real key right there. Confidence isn't some magical thing you just wait for to show up. No, confidence is a result of taking action. You just have to start small, learn the absolute basics from a tutorial. Then you got to take a leap, put yourself out there on a site like Upwork, even if it's uncomfortable, and just learn as you go. Confidence is built brick by brick through action and repetition, one project at a time. And if you need proof, just look at this number. -$6. This perfectly illustrates the journey. Simon's very first paid automation gig, it took him 12 hours. And after he paid for all of the software and the platform fees, he actually lost $6 on the job. Sounds like a total failure, doesn't it? But it wasn't, because the real outcome of that project was never about the money. It was about momentum. It was the proof to himself that he could do it. He learned a new system, he got real-world experience, and most importantly, he earned the confidence to go get the next project, and the one after that. So the big takeaway here is really simple. Everyone, and I mean everyone, starts at level 1. Everyone starts as an explorer. The only question that's really left is for you. What is the very first small step that you're going to take on your automation journey?
And that is how you dominate the game with AI automation. If you're ready to stop trading your time for money, make sure to hit that subscribe button. But more importantly, click the link in the description to join our global school community. Get the full blueprint and start building your machine today. I'll see you inside.